Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dawn. Today we have our 3 large hardcover journals that are finished binding. All the pages are in. I've run my bone folder to get all those creases in the pages nice and flat. Here is one of the 4 that we've already almost finished. We did the front piece, added all this bling. We did everything on the inside that we were gonna do. So like here I tucked some things into the pockets. But the one thing I was missing is on all of my hardcover journals, I like to add a library pocket, and I wasn't sure where these were when I finished this, so I set it aside to finish once I found them, and I have, as you can see, I have found them. I like to put these on the back cover. And one of the reasons for that is usually I will then sign my book on this library pocket. I just like doing it that way. I've kind of gotten the rhythm of doing that, and I like the way it looks. I do like to try to remember to sign all my journals because there are art that I have made. So I'm just going to get this in here. It comes with sticky on it, so I'm just going to use the sticky that it comes on it. I think it's a really strong sticky. I've had library pockets that were not strong enough, but this is not one of them. As long as you get everything in place the way you want it, I think it works really well. And then the other thing I like to do is I like to get a bookmark that I've made, and I like to put that in the library pocket as well. And so you have that, and then I'll sign this before I finalize it. And then for all these journals, I have these pieces of frilly purple and silver. It's a piece of a scarf that I cut up. That's going to be the tie for this journal. So this one's done. That was the only thing I had to do, and then I have to go back and sign it. So we're going to set that one to the side for now. And then we're basically going to do that with these 3, except we have to put decorations on the front and add some more pockets. So I'm going to start by making sure I have the back of my journal. And one good way to check is I always put pocket pages in, and so the pockets are very obvious when they're upside down. So I'm going to slip these in because if I don't do it now, I will eventually lose them. So I'm going to slip these in and get these on the journals. And then I won't have them floating around on the desk trying to get lost. So these just have stickies on them. If they don't, you can use any kind of glue that pleases you. I've used different glues. Sometimes I get some library card pockets that are not very sticky. And if I'm not happy with the amount of sticky, I will just use glue. I don't think it's a big deal to add glue to things that have a sticky. Okay, that's that pocket. And then this one, again, just checking for my pages. This one has fabric on the cover, so the library card pocket would not stick here. And in that case, I'll usually just put it on a page. Sometimes I'll put it on the very last page. Sometimes I'll put it on the first page, but the first page here is already a pocket. So I'm going to put it right here. That's just me making a choice, and I don't know how to justify that choice or explain that choice. That's just the choice I made. These journals are finally almost done. After this video, they should be done. I just have to sign them. This should be the final touches, except for going back and signing. So, yeah. So I will have to go back and sign them, and then I will get them listed for sale on Etsy. They will be part of a big drop. I will release them all at the same time on the same day. And I will, for my Patreon members, so you can join Patreon for free. And if you're in the free tier, it will apply to you. You will be able to see the early video. You don't have to be a paid member to see the early video. I like these blue bookmarks, but I really like the bookmarks that have some purple in them for this collection. I have some extras I might slip in somewhere else. So for these journals, what I'm trying to say is, if you are interested in finding out about when these journals are released early so that you can be prepared to grab one, you can join my Patreon, my free tier, or one of my paid tiers, because we do have the cutoff date coming up. Well, I'm not sure when I'll post this video, but we do have the cutoff date coming up for this purple floral collection, if you want to receive a packet. But if you're part of my free tier, you will get notified early of the release date for this journal collection. You will be able to see all the information. You will be able to be prepared. If you are not part of my Patreon, you will only get notified of the release date, the release time, and all that information as it's happening. So you won't get any early information unless you're part of my Patreon. Now this book cover is really damaged, so I'm thinking about covering the whole front in a piece of cardstock. And I like this one. And then I have these. I made them a long time ago. They've been sitting around for quite some time. They are journal toppers that I made for a collection. I don't know. I just made a bunch of them. I mass made journal toppers. And now I have to choose one to go on this cover. And I think I like that one. Okay, so these journals, just to summarize, my brain is not thinking clearly. These journals will all be released at the same time on my Etsy. I'll publish all the listings at the same time, and when they're gone, they are gone. And that is how I'm doing it. I don't know how long it's going to take to sell out. They could be there for minutes. They could be there for months. I have no clue. But if you have seen a particular journal that you want, you should be prepared to jump on and grab it, because I don't know how long it's going to stay there. Some might stick around for months. Some might go right away. I have no idea. I'm not, delusional enough to think that they're all going to go in 5 seconds. But if you're eyeing a specific one of these journals, you should probably plan to grab it. And if you want exclusive warning of when the drop is, you should join the free tier of my Patreon to get that, because I will publish the flip through videos ahead of time so that you can see all the journals. You can look at them and decide which ones you like. And then I will make a post on my Patreon announcing when the drop is. And then I will publish a video on YouTube at the time that the drop is live. But the Patreon members will get early info about when that drop is happening. So if you want one, join the free tier of my Patreon. And if you like what you see over on my Patreon, join the collage tier of my Patreon, or the postcard tier, because we're doing that over there too, and it's really fun. And I would definitely love more people to jump on that. So for the journals. Each journal will be up as its own listing. I'm just gonna put that right there with a little bit of the pink showing. I really like the way that this looks. So for the journals, for the whole release, you will be able to grab the journals. They'll each be their own listing. So when it sells out, it'll disappear from my Etsy, because that's how Etsy does it. And you'll be able to get these 4 journals, the 7 9x6 wallpaper journals, and the 8 8x4 inch wallpaper journals, the travel size journal. And that's what's part of the drop. And I haven't decided yet, but you might also be able to add a collage pack from this month. It depends on how many I have left though. And that's going to be the drop, is the journals and potentially some collage packs. That's what we're working with this month. It depends on how many collage packs I have left. And this is all the purple floral journal collection and ephemera kits from April, because they go out April 11th. Cutoff deadline is April 10th, and then usually, depending on what day of the week April 10th is, I will like print the list of my members so that I can cut that off, and then I'll usually get them in the mail at the next like business day. So if this month, I'm just trying to see the date. This month, Thursday is April 9th, so I should be able to get those in the mail on Saturday. Okay, so this has a blemish here, which means we need to add a little something here. So here's the front of our journal, and this is how I'm going to have it, and I like that. We've got the ribbon on the spine, and then when we put the little tie around it, we'll tie it here, and so it'll go like, I'm not going to tie the bow, but it will go like this. You'll have your little bow on the front, and that's how that's going to look. So we've covered up a lot of the damage on the front of the book. The back of the book is looking pretty good. There's no like rips or tears, so I'm going to leave the back as it is. And then we're just going to work on the inside. And we're going to try to cover up anything on the covers, like this back cover. We've got the pocket there, so that's fine. But then this has a tear. And I'm not sure if we should try to do like a pocket here. I might try to do a pocket here. I have this paper. And I'm going to take this green off, I think. I want a little contrast to the first page here, so I don't want to do something that's too purple. I could just put this whole piece here, but I kind of like the idea of cutting that down and making a pocket. So if I do want to cut it down, it has to at least go to here. So I'm just going to use the dots that are on the paper. So we've got like the blemishes here. So if I put this in the bottom corner, if we cut along this line of dots right here, we should be good. So that's kind of just what I'm doing today. I'm going through and finalizing these journals. Okay, and then I think I'm going to run the tape runner here and here, so you have this big open pocket. So what I'm actually going to do is round this and then cut down a little bit more, just because I'm realizing it looks fairly crooked. I'm going to see if I could do a slightly better job. And then round this. I don't need to use a corner rounder here because it wouldn't work anyway with the angle. Okay, I like the way that looks. And I think This tape runner is not empty. We're going to do the tall side. And the bottom. And we're going to put that down in the corner. Okay. And then we're going to use this and just get that nice and secure. Okay. And then we have a pocket. And I had some extra bookmarks, so we're going to pop another bookmark in here. But I'm going to grab the purple bookmark. I'm going to swap for this blue one. This one has music on it. I'm going to put the purple bookmark at the front because I like it better. Okay, and then we have one of these. We have a pocket at the front and a pocket at the back, so we're going to try to go somewhere near the middle. And here's a pocket from that page. And here's a pocket from that page. So I'm thinking kind of right here. Right here. I know it's kind of random. This is going to be like a belly band. But I'm also tempted to just leave it in the pocket in the front. Because I don't want to randomly put it somewhere and then it doesn't make sense there. So I'm going to actually tuck this in the pocket as well. And then if you buy this journal, you can put this in somewhere or in a different one. So I think we're actually going to try to get a couple of little pieces of ephemera. I have some little 2, 3, 4, and then I have some of these. Okay, I have these little flippy books I made. Grabbed a few of those. I have these little bits that are like flower papers. So we've got some purple stuff in here that we can use. So I'll pop a few of those into the journal pockets, and then we can do, like, we're just going to tuck something in every pocket. So we have this pocket here. And then sometimes what I like to do is grab a tiny paper clip, these tiny paper clips, and just clip the bottom of the pocket to hold these smaller things in. So we're going to go through, I don't have too many pockets in here because you can always add your own pockets, and I don't like to go too crazy with pockets in other, like, it's going to be someone else's journal. It's not going to be mine. Final product. So we'll get a couple of these that look different and we'll slip those in there. And again, we'll grab a little paper clip. I have a rose gold one. I almost dropped it. And this is just kind of how I finalize a journal. I kind of make sure that there's a little something everywhere. Okay, and then I have a ton of these. And I think I'm just going to pop one of these in here. It's blank on the back. You could use it as a journal card. You could even back it onto something. Or you could use it as a journal topper for a different journal. But I like them. They're cute little collage bits. You know, you could even use it as a pocket and glue down 2 sides and have a pocket. And if it's not thick enough for a pocket, just reinforce it with something on the back and then you have a pocket. And then we have our bookmark and our library card. And that is finished. So I need one of these. And I'm not going to fully tie it because I do need to go back and sign it. So this is our journal. Big journal all finished. And each of the big journals are going to have their own flip through video. And I don't remember what else I was going to say. Oh, and then all the 9x6 wallpaper journals will have their own flip through. And then all of the 8x4 wallpaper journals are going to have their own flip through. I think I'm going to attach this one just because that's what I want to do. So I'm just going to put double-sided tape at the top and at the bottom here. Put this here, and then we have a pocket here. All right, for the front of this one, we've got some pretty sparkly lace here. We've got some pretty lace here. I think I want to kind of go with the lace vibe. And I do want to cover up this lightning bolt. I think that this is going to go really well with this journal. I think that's the way to go. And so I'm not going to cover the whole cover because it's not damaged this time. So there's no reason to, and I think I'm just going to place this in the center of the journal. For the themed monthly release journals, my Etsy shop is going to get first dibs on them. And I say that because for a lot of the other journals I make, I'll take them all to the market and then I'll list them all for sale like at the end of my market season, which usually isn't until like December. But as far as the monthly journals, those are going to be done in a release on my Etsy every month to go along with the collage packs, and if I do a journal collection, and that will be something that goes to Etsy first and then only goes to the market if it doesn't sell on Etsy. So some things get first dibs if you find me in person, and some things get first dibs if you find me online. And that's just it's not really like about fairness, but that's just a way to kind of make sure that I have enough for everything. So like I said, these were intended to be journal toppers. I made quite a few of them a while ago, and I'm being very gentle on the doilies. I'm still, I need a wipe. I'm still using this to squish down the glue, but I am being a little bit more gentle on the doilies. And then I'm just going to dab away some of this glue. All right. There's that. And it's a little gluey right now, but we'll look at it in a minute when it's had a second to dry, and then we'll go through and we'll pop some things in our pockets. Let's find a couple pieces in here that are a little bit more purpley. Those are cute. Put these two in here. I like to include little things, but I don't like to overdo it. Because if you want more stuff, you can grab one of my collage packs. And if you don't want more stuff, well then your journal's not overflowing. That's kind of the way I think about it. Just going through here and looking for pocket pages to tuck things in. Grab one of these. These are just little flip books. I decorated the top page, and then you can use them for writing or scraps, or tear pages out of them for collage. So that's a your choice kind of thing. And then we will grab, I think, another one of these. Maybe one that's more rectangular. Oh, I'm going to do the fairy one. I like the fairy. Ooh, I'm going to do this fairy one. So that's going to go in your pocket there for whoever gets this journal. And then this pocket, we could do an extra bookmark. I think I'll do that. I think I'll put an extra bookmark in this journal. And grab a paper clip for it. I have a bunch of different colors of these little paper clips. I'm just kind of grabbing them randomly. And then we have our pocket here, and then there's that, and that's done. And our little tie that will wrap around it. Like that. You know, again, not going to tie the full bow because I'll just have to undo it. But there is that journal cover. I'm loving the way these are turning out. I did a lot of the work, like I did all the spine work, and like this one I painted the spine so you couldn't see what book was under it and that kind of thing. I did all that already. Okay, for this I have 2 of these. And again, I think I'm just going to put them in the pockets. For this journal, and I want to put it on so I can see where we're at with it. For this journal, I have this to keep it closed. And I want to position this, and then I want to use that to decide where I'm going to put the front piece. So we could do something like that, but I think that's a little overkill. We could do something a little more simple, like this, but I'm not sure that's quite enough. Or something like this. I actually kind of like that. Or something like this. I like that. We're going to go with that. So we're going to do it about that far from the top. It's about 1 inch, I think. Anyway, I know how far it is. So yeah, this one is our last one for the day, and we'll get some glue on this piece here, making sure we get all the edges especially, and then like this wasn't quite attached, so I added more glue underneath. When I did these, I was very simplistic with how I attached them in order to like just get them done, knowing that I would be gluing them onto journals. So get the whole thing covered in glue. This glue does not come out very fast, but it is a very good glue. So it's kind of a lot of effort, but I think it's worth it. Okay, we're going to line this up about that far from the top. Get it right in the middle there, and then squeeze a little more glue there. Just get that mushed down. And if this is not staying, I can always grab my giant paper clips and pin it down. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a giant paper clip, and I'm going to use the edge of that paper clip to pin this down here. And that will hold it down until the glue catches. That doesn't happen very often, but it's happening today. Okay, and then we're going to go through and put things in our pockets. We're going to start with these. Tuck that in the pocket. And there's going to be 3 signatures in this journal, so there's a lot more pockets. We'll grab a couple of these next. Some different papers that have some postal stamps, images on them. Using a few of these. I just don't want stuff to like slip out of the pockets in shipping, and I figure then you get some fancy paper clips with your journal, because why not? Who doesn't want paper clips? When I'm tucking things into journals, especially if I'm planning to ship it, I like to put them on the outer edge, like on this part of the pocket, because otherwise it adds bulk to the spine and it gets pretty thick pretty quickly. And I think that that helps hold off some of the bulk that we get in our spine, and that I don't want to overload the spine when I'm shipping it, because I don't want it to get damaged. Not that that's ever happened, but I don't know, I still like to take precautions. Put this one here. I'll clip that one in just to be cautious, and because I like these little paper clips, then I want to share them with you guys. And our final pocket, we'll add this other flippy. There we go. And then our back pocket. And then this journal, I'll leave it, but this journal has this for a tie. So here's what that's going to kind of look like. And then you can always move this to the side, or if you're putting it on the bookshelf, you can always put it on the spine, or none of the above, whatever you want. I'm going to put it right here for now, so that I can leave that to dry. So here are our 1, 2, 3, and dropping things, 4 journals in this collection, and I really like them. I've really enjoyed working with them, and it's been a lot of fun. If you're interested in purchasing any of these journals, please subscribe to my YouTube or follow my Patreon, because that is where you will find the information on how to purchase these. Thank you for watching this video. Please let me know which of these journals is your favorite, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and goodbye everyone.